A trove of evidence a jury never saw, including disturbing texts. Fox's Garrett Tenney reports from McKinney, Texas, and says there's also evidence that was never revealed about the victim, Austin Metcalf.
On Carmelo Anthony, prosecutors now say he had a history of getting into fights, was obsessed with knives and guns, and fantasized about stabbing someone. In one text message to his girlfriend, Anthony said this: "When I stab somebody, I'm going to lick their blood off the blade." His attorneys argue it was in self-defense, and in court, they argued Metcalf had a history and a reputation for bullying and being violent, particularly towards minorities.
And both sides agreed not to introduce all that evidence in court, feeling it would be like throwing gas on a fire. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
This afternoon, expect a mix of clouds and sun with a strong thunderstorm possible, bringing heavy rain, hail, and strong winds. The temperature will reach 80. Tonight, there will be another heavy thunderstorm early on, then skies will clear up a bit, becoming partly cloudy and humid. The low will be around 64. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com. Make sure that you never miss a day of Sean Thompson when you subscribe to the Sean Thompson Show podcast, presented by the Alpha Wealth Group. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts, or search for The Sean Thompson Show on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Born on America's darkest day, September 11th, 01, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, they have helped American heroes ever since. Heroes like United States Navy Chief Shannon Kent. Kent was killed in a suicide bombing, leaving behind her husband, Joseph, their 2 kids. Tunnel to Towers honored her sacrifice and paid off the family mortgage, giving them security forever. Donate $11 a month. Maybe you have a car to donate, land to donate. Please go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Welcome back to Ask Hasslis. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Is this one of those viral pranks?
Beg your pardon?
I think you promote Hasslis Mattresses employee-free showrooms just to lure me in so you can film a practical joke on me to go viral.
Sir, I assure you, we take employee-free mattress shopping very seriously.
What do? Tie me to a bed and spray me with silly string?
We simply let you try our selection of Beautyrest, Sealy Posturepedic, and more without commission-crazy salespeople breathing down your neck.
Good one.
Others sell a Beauty Sleep by Beautyrest Queen Elm Cove A mattress for $1,599. But Hasslis has it for just $794.
Sure you do.
And through Monday, get a free adjustable base with the purchase of a select Sealy Posturepedic or Beautyrest mattress, plus free next-day delivery.
So shopping at Hasslis won't make me TikTok famous?
Absolutely not.
Darn.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at hasslis.com.
Hey, American Custom Flooring in Niles is hosting a one-day customer appreciation event. Enjoy free food and drinks from 9 to 3 on Saturday, August 22nd. Save big on all countertops, browse beautiful slabs on display, or peruse through hundreds of remnant pieces for smaller projects. If you've shopped for countertops before, you know the hassle. The person who sells the countertops isn't the one measuring, fabricating, or installing. At A American Custom Flooring, your countertop orders are handled under one roof, and you'll work with the same person from start to finish. With a 20,000 square foot showroom and a 30,000 square foot warehouse, choose the perfect stone for your home. Plus, you won't pay for wasted material. Don't miss their one-day event, Saturday, August 22nd, or step into the showroom today, located just north of Howard and Caldwell in Niles. Learn more at AAmericanFlooring.com. A American Custom Flooring, your one-stop shop for flooring, cabinets, and countertops.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
The following live program is sponsored by Breakthrough Ideas.
AM 560, The Answer. It's time for breaking news, expert insight, and informed commentary on what's happening in Springfield, Chicago, and beyond. Because an informed citizenry is the only way to protect our republic. It's time for The Real Story with Jeanne Ives and Amy Jacobson.
Oh, they used to be such good friends. Of course, we're talking about Cook County Treasurer Maria Pappas and former Cook County Commissioner Richard Boykin.
I still think that the line that she said on our radio show, she should turn into a commercial. I think it's the best line ever about
somebody doesn't go in there with an axe, a hammer, a dog, and a whip. It's over. Pack it up. Go to Greece. Go to Spain. Go to Portugal.
So we all know she's going to be running for mayor of Chicago. She hasn't officially announced yet, and she wants her friends to remain her allies. One of her good friends, or former good friend, we're going to find out, Richard Boykin, she supported when he ran for Congress.
Hey, I'm Maria Pappas, and guess what? My friend, Richard Boykin, number 39 for United States Congress, is going to go to Washington, D.C. because we need him there.
So with more on this, that they're falling out, and the fact that he has filed a complaint with the Inspector General accusing Pappas of intimidation and official misconduct. Mr. Boykin is here to tell us and walk us through all that is going on. Good morning, Richard. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So break what's going down on The Real Story here. What is the real story?
I just got to tell you this, though. I mean, this drama around campaigns is such a distraction from the serious policy problems that we have. And that's what I see this as, 100% distraction.
Well, he is a citizen and he does have a right to file a complaint. So just take us.
Well, I agree with that. I'm just saying the whole thing.
Right.
Anyway.
Just walk us through what happened.
Well, look, I didn't ask for this fight. I didn't seek it. But, Treasurer Pappas sent some inflammatory, threatening, I would even argue racist texts to my phone on Saturday night around 10:34. I didn't see him until Sunday morning. I was heading to church and I saw him. Almost had a car accident when I saw him because I couldn't believe that someone, as a public official, someone who's held to a higher standard, would send some texts like that to me. And then on Sunday afternoon, she sent a threatening text as well, saying that if we didn't withdraw the press release that Dr. Willie Wilson had initiated regarding urging the inspector generals to look at these folks who are running for mayor and they currently hold public office and whether or not they're using their current public funds, their public budgets, to actually supplement their mayoral campaign. In other words, are they using their public-issued vehicle, taxpayer-paid-for vehicle, to go to political events without reimbursing taxpayers? Are they using public staff to go to political events for mayor without reimbursing taxpayers? And I think it's a legitimate question. I think the average citizen would say, hey, I don't want my money going to be used to, try to get another office while you're currently in an office.
But you're not just talking about Maria Pappas. You're also talking about Alexi Janulius, who's running for Secretary of State again while running for mayor, and same with Mike Quigley.
Yep, and the Cook County Board of Review gentleman as well. And whether or not Comptroller Susana Mendoza is also using her budget. She's a public official. She's not running in November. But is she using staff or is she using her paid vehicle to get to these mayoral events? So I think it's a legitimate question. And I think that's what set the treasurer Pappas off. And but, if she considers me a friend, then she would have picked up the phone and just called me and not sent those text messages. And the only thing I asked for was an apology. That's it. Apologize for sending me that stuff. And, But then I said to myself, I'm a lawyer. And as a lawyer, when a public official makes a threat and they say this is not over and I'm coming after you, they got a budget. I mean, government is not supposed to be used to come after citizens. And quite frankly, she works for me, for us, the taxpayers. I own 2 properties in Cook County. And, you know, she issues the tax bill. She sends them out. Well, how is she going to come after me? Is she going to get the Greek mafia after me? So I needed to make sure that this was on the record. And I think that's what inspectors generals are for, to make sure that waste, fraud, and abuse, and that government officials are playing by rules.
Okay,
so
let's read the text messages. Sorry for interrupting, but these are the text messages that you said you almost got in a car accident over. Why a blank turncoat after all I did for you, you piece of expletive? I'm not a declared candidate, blank. What a user you are. Then she went on to say, you have no character. Maybe it's how you were raised, boy. How stupid am I to have bet on you? This ain't over, Richard. So her using the word boy, you think is discriminatory?
Let me tell you, I was born in Mississippi, and I remember, and I go down there every year, at least twice a year, because I got a lot of relatives down there. And so it was not unusual for white people to refer to black men as boy. And so I think a reasonable person could suggest that is a word choice that she probably should not have used. I mean, and I go back and say she should have never sent the text message at all. Poorly drafted, poorly crafted text message. But I don't like that, and I think it's wrong, and I would never refer to anybody in that way. And I know she put out a statement, said that, well, I stand by the salty language or something. She said that I put in my text messages, and she said that's the way that friends talk to friends. Well, no, I don't talk to my friends that way. I don't even talk to my enemies that way. I would not talk to anybody that way.
Yeah,
my mother raised me better than that. The other thing is that she questioned who raised me. Well, my mother raised me. And my mother passed 3 years ago, August 29th, from lung cancer, 75. That was actually diagnosed in the 4th stage. And so no, you don't talk about my mother. And that's the thing, too. I mean, you don't want anybody talking about your mother or your parents, even if you didn't have good parents. Nobody wants them talking about their parents. It's not right, and she shouldn't have done it.
Well, her statement was, I stand by the salty language I use because that's how friends speaks to one another when there's a disagreement. Then she went on to say, because they claimed the word boy was racist, and I agree with what you're saying. This is her. She said, that's a lie because I use the word as an exclamation saying, boy, how stupid am I to have bet on you. What's your response?
I don't know.
That's not the way it's written. I think a reasonable person could see it a different way. And she being an attorney herself, she knows that language should never be used. And her being an attorney knows that decorum is the rule of the day. And so in addition to asking for an investigation by the Inspector General, I asked for the county board president and the county board to pass an ordinance requiring elected officials in Cook County to go through mandated civility training. They currently are not required to do that. I think it's important. You can't talk about President Donald Trump in the language that he uses when you mimic the same behavior that he's doing.
Well, so what about Juliana Stratton and her F Trump commercial that got her that won her the primary? I mean, that's not civil.
No, it's not civil, but I think that maybe for the state of Illinois, all elected officials should have to go through mandated civility training. We've got to get back to the days of civility.
Okay, so let's go back to the letter you sent. You sent this letter saying, look, we don't have evidence of it yet, but whether we should investigate whether or not public funds are being used for campaign purposes. And I would argue that that happens all the time in the state legislature as they use their massive district allotment. They get like $170,000 per legislator to run their districts. A lot of that goes into mailings. These mailings, are, they're paid for by taxpayers, and they basically tout what the state representatives want constituents to know about them. And a lot of it is nothing more than paid advertisement for that state rep or state senator. I mean, I think you have a problem there. Have you caught anything that Janelius is doing specifically? How about Quigley, who's also running for mayor? I mean, he's a congressman too. Famously, Dan Rostenkowski got prosecuted for essentially mail fraud, using taxpayer money for purposes that he shouldn't have. So, I mean, we've been doing this for a long time, and we still have a problem.
Yeah, and look, I agree. And I think in order for us to have integrity in elections, people have to play by the rules. But as you know, a lot of times there are big loopholes that allow for politicians who are, currently in office to do things that probably shouldn't be done. And so in this situation, I mean, I think, one, that it's unfair to go after me. I simply work for Dr. Willie Wilson. This was his idea to send this press release out. It wasn't my idea. And, I think her fire should have been trained on him and not on me. I'm just a political staffer.
Yeah, but the bottom line is she's upset that you're working with Willie Wilson. So she thinks, and you could speak for yourself, that you're supporting and backing Willie Wilson for mayor.
Look, I support Dr. Willie Wilson because I think that he cares about people. In fact, tomorrow, just an illustration of it, tomorrow he has his 21st gas and grocery giveaway, where he's giving away free gas and grocery at 21 gas stations. One of them, by the way, is in Northwest Indiana, Gary, Indiana, a place that's been hit hard by storms and power outages. He's got one in Maywood. He's got one in Hinsdale. And then he's got a number in Chicago. And he's got 3 grocery stores. But this is the 21st time this guy's doing this. Yeah. Millions of his own dollars that he put into people because they're facing high costs for gas, for groceries, for rents, and all of that. And they're having to make some tough, difficult choices. And so, yeah, I support him. I love the guy. I think the world of him. And I think there's probably nobody who has a bigger heart for the people than Dr. Willie Wilson.
Okay, Richard, just for the record, do you have a paid position on the Willie Wilson campaign?
Yes. Okay. Yes. I mean, he compensates me for my work.
Of course. Great. And people should be compensated for their work.
Yes.
So let's talk about you were county commissioner, and then you voted against the sugar tax. And then Queen Sugar, otherwise known as Tony Preckwinkle, decided to handpick Brandon Johnson, take him out of Elgin, and put him into your district.
Yeah. I mean, that was a principled vote. You all probably don't know the story about it, but she called me the day of the vote and said, I need your vote. And I, of course, said I can't vote for that because I held all these town hall meetings and people said, we don't want this. And so the vote came down to a tie on the county board, and she had to cast the deciding vote, the tiebreaker, and she voted for it. And we wound up organizing, and we got it repealed within a couple of months. And then, of course, she ran Brandon Johnson, and teachers union and the labor unions put a lot of money behind him. It was the most expensive race in the history of the county. And he wound up winning by 437 votes. And that's, served a term there and wound up becoming mayor.
So and he's been a disaster. So, I mean, you know.
Well, that's that was his birth. I mean, he was handpicked.
Yeah.
So she puts him in this neighborhood on the west side in your district so that he can run against you. But he doesn't pay his water bills. Did he ever move into that house? Did he actually live there?
I believe he lived there. It's my understanding that he was on a payment plan for the water bill, and he wound up paying for it. Once he won the primary, because obviously you couldn't become a sitting mayor with having these outstanding bills.
Right.
And so somebody gave him the money to go down and pay the whole thing off.
How do you rack up a $3,000 water bill?
Well, because he's in a protected zip code where if you don't pay your water bill, they don't come after you. He and Stacey Davis Gates, and that's why. Because they actually have a formal program saying you're not going to go after these people if they didn't pay their water bill. It's disgusting. And he did it because he could get away with it. That's why he did it.
6 figures. So that shows how fraudulent he is with money. He's got
the whole thing is a
6-figure deal with CTU. Yeah. Then he had a 6-figure deal with the Cook County Board, too.
Yeah. So it's all a scam. Yep.
All right, Richard Boykin, thank you so much for joining us. And where can we get more information? I'm getting a few text messages. We are about the locations for the gas giveaways and the grocery giveaway this weekend.
You can go to Willie Wilson Facebook. Willie Wilson Facebook.
Okay.
You'll see the locations and everything. And, the guy's doing a tremendous work.
Yep.
And thank you both. Thank you both for your leadership and for always being fair, balanced, and honest, and always calling it like you see it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Richard Boykin. Go to the Willie Wilson Facebook to find out where that gas and grocery giveaway is. And coming up on The Real Story, sex, drugs, no rock and roll, but you're not going to want to miss this story. It's breaking news.
Exposing the lies and the misinformation from the politicians and the media. This is The Real Story on AM 560. The Answer.
Have you seen videos of Russian floating folk dancers?
Floating Russian whoozy-whatsits?
They wear long dresses so you can't see their feet, so it looks like they're gliding on air.
I've seen those videos. Impressive. That reminds me of the dining chairs with the Brody table.
The Brody table is my favorite table at Penny Mustard.
You know, the unique design kind of resembles one of those Russian dancers.
You're right.
And check out these upholstered caster dining chairs.
I don't see any casters.
Precisely. It looks like the chair's gliding in air. Here, I'll show you. I can glide over here.
Ooh, nice.
And I can glide over there.
Be careful.
And I can...
Watch out!
I never was a very good dancer.
The Brody table, paired with 4 caster dining chairs, starting at $64.22 at Penny Mustard.
Now open in Algonquin.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Don't miss Destination Retirement with Robert Kuhn every Sunday from 11 to 12. Robert has a different way of looking at retirement from most financial advisors and is happy to share his ideas with you every week. So don't miss what he has to say. Destination Retirement with Robert Kuhn, Sunday mornings from 11 to 12 on AM 560 The Answer.
Hey, y'all, I'm Willie Robertson.
And I'm Corey Robertson.
We partnered with Echo. It's a new platform, not just streaming.
Movies and series that are safe for your family.
Echo. I love a podcast.
Plus, Echo Daily Devotionals.
Echo. Hey, Willie, what is Echo?
Echo is my pet squirrel. Okay, now, Echo is not just faith-friendly, it is faith-driven.
Be a part of something better.
Echo.
Echo.
That's where I want to be.
That's EKKL.com.
Subscribe now.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing during the decline in the U.S. economy, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or put it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-574-8803.
free. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and can't afford to pay them back, or you even have years of unfiled returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-574-8803 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, pension, savings, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 1-800-574-8803 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 1-800-574-8803.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, listen up. I've been getting this. I'm trying to find it right now. But apparently College of DuPage is upset.
Oh, no.
Yes, they're upset. And they put out a specific letter about for undocumented students. They specifically said, look, we know that because the federal government has come in and shut down your ability to get some of these taxpayer-funded grants like Pell Grants and MAP grants. We understand that that's a problem for you, and we're going to try and work through it as best we can. So, well, instead of giving you a break on tuition or anything, we're going to have to charge you the full tuition amount to come to COD in the wake of this
I've
federal
been
government.
Under the impression that Pell Grants, there were only for American citizens.
Oh, not once they opened it up in Illinois to illegals. But you see, the federal government's shutting all that down.
Well, good, because
and COD knows it.
We all voted for Trump 3 times because we wanted secure borders, but also putting Americans first.
Yeah,
I remember I applied for a Pell Grant, didn't get it, and it was devastating. But I can't imagine losing out to somebody who's here illegally.
Okay, so I got an outreach to this. Okay, here's where it is.
Yeah.
Federal court ruling impacting undocumented students. This is a COD announcement, August 18th, 2026. A recent federal court ruling concerning Illinois laws, including the Illinois Public Community College Act, governing tuition and financial aid eligibility, has raised important questions for students, families, employees, and members of our broader community. Here's what we know. On July 24, a federal court ruled that undocumented students who completed the alternative application are no longer eligible to receive MAP or other ISAC financial aid for 26-27 academic year. A brief pause that allowed the state to seek an appeal has ended, so the ruling now stands. The Illinois Attorney General said the state will comply while weighing its options. We are carefully reviewing what the ruling means for College of DuPage students and are working closely with state officials, community partners, and legal counsel. As guidance becomes available, we'll communicate it clearly and promptly. COD is committed to expanding access to education, creating pathways to opportunity, and helping every student achieve their education goals. We will continue to serve our students with dignity, empathy, and respect while fulfilling our obligations under the law. If you're concerned about how this ruling may affect you, please know that you are a valued member of our community and the support is available. This is out. I'm just like, seriously.
And looking into this
outraged.
more, the maximum federal Pell Grant for COD is $7,395 a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah.
On top of giving them free phones, health care, clothes, a place to stay, food to eat. Must be nice to be an illegal.
They have their intercultural student initiatives, undocumented student resources. You can find out about this at the Student Services Center, folks. This is your money. This is your property taxes, too. They get state money. They get property tax money. They get federal money. And it's going to illegals.
Free for All Friday coming up. Grab a line 312-642-5600.
Make sure that you never miss a day of Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft when you subscribe to the Chicago's Morning Answer podcast, presented by Signature Bank. Listen to the entire show each day on demand with limited commercial breaks. You can subscribe today for free at 560theanswer.com and click on podcasts or search for Chicago's Morning Answer on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Fox News, I'm CJ Pappas. The defense rests in the Lindsay Clancy trial. The Massachusetts mother accused of killing her 3 young children. Clancy did not take the stand. Prosecutors have started calling their rebuttal witnesses. The first of them, a psychiatrist, before attorneys making the closing arguments, which could come as early as Monday. President Trump giving meat lovers a break.
The U.S. will allow up to 300 metric tons, slightly higher than a standard U.S. ton of imported ground beef for 90 days. The meat will be sold at 25% below current market prices and will not be subject to higher tariffs.
That's Fox's Ginny Casola reporting. In tennis, Wimbledon champ, current #1 player in the world, Yannick Sinner, withdraws from the U.S. Open. He won the U.S. Open in 2024. The final Grand Slam event of the year begins Sunday, August 30th. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
This afternoon, expect a mix of clouds and sun with a strong thunderstorm possible, bringing heavy rain, hail, and strong winds. The temperature will reach 80 degrees. Tonight, there will be another heavy thunderstorm early on, then skies will clear up a bit, but it will remain humid with a low of 64 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
Progressive Insurance. Progressive can protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, RV, and more. In short, a lot of things. Bundle today at progressive.com.
Only on Salem Now, featuring one of Charlie Kirk's final interviews. The new documentary, Can You Hear Me Now?, investigates modern prophets and their divine messages.
Some people absolutely have the gift of prophecy. If God exists, how would he inject his information into our world? More than likely, he would use humans. Satan would love Christians to just be a spectator, not engage, not participate. Is there something he's trying to say?
Can You Hear Me Now? Pre-order the movie by September 10th. Save 25% and get the DVD free at salemnow.com.
Summer in Chicago, and if you don't want to spend it painting, join your neighbors and call Rhino Shield.
It looks amazing. It looks like a Teflon coating on there.
We're very excited that we don't ever have to paint again.
We chose it because of the fact that we saw a house that had done it, and I just went, that's something I'd like to have done to my house.
Rhino Shield ceramic technology is formulated specifically for our unique climate right here in Chicago and stands up to our extreme temperature swings.
I would highly recommend Rhino Shield. You can't beat the 25-year transferable warranty, by the way.
Let me put it this way. I haven't had any complaints. And as the president of the association, that's the best part.
All right, Chicago, it's time you join your neighbors and get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price.
For anybody that's skeptical about putting Rhino Shield on your house, take a real close look at it. The warranty, 25 years, is something that I just don't think you can beat.
This offer is for a limited time, so call now, 847-850-1132 or ChicagoRhinoShield.com.
Go Rhino Shield!
The mainstream media isn't just biased. They're hiding stories from you, deliberately. Restoration News is changing that. With elite researchers and fearless writers, Restoration News is the conservative media force fighting back in the information war for America's future. Download the Restoration News mobile app today or visit restoration-news.com. That's restoration-news.com. Real stories, real truth. It's time you knew what they don't want you to know.
Foundations of Freedom, a look at America's founding principles and the leaders who shaped our nation.
When George Washington accepted command of the Continental Army, Americans were fighting a king and determined not to replace one form of unchecked power with another. Washington understood the difference between authority and ownership. In 1775, he declared, "When we assume the soldier, we did not lay aside the citizen." Even as commander of America's army, Washington remembered that he remained one of the people and that the power entrusted to him was never his to keep. He did not fight to rule America, he fought so Americans could govern themselves. Washington's example gave the young nation something more than victory. It gave America a standard for leadership. Those who hold power must remain accountable to the people they serve, because in a free nation, leadership is not ownership. It is a duty and a trust.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Goldilocks, offering 24/7 security solutions for homes and businesses. Call them today at 708-889-5600.
AM 560, The Answer.
What day is today? Friday. You know what that means.
Stimulate
ain't your mind, man. It's Friday.
One day I'll have Friday on my mind.
It's Friday. Shouldn't you be off with your friends, scaring old people?
It's Friday, Friday. Gotta get down on Friday.
No holds barred, free-for-alls.
After this Friday, the neighborhood will never be the same.
Might hit the highway on the Vegas run, fool, 'cause it's Friday. Oh, yeah.
Becomes a free-for-all.
It's finally Friday.
You know what happens here on Friday?
This type of free-for-all melee.
The phone lines are open. Call Jeanne and Amy now. 312-642-5600. It's time for Free for All Friday.
All right, 312-642-5600. Text us, call us, and if you've never called in, give us a try. What do you think?
Somebody said that Boykin sounds like he's wanting to portray himself as a victim.
Well, he does feel victimized. That's why he filed this complaint with the Inspector General, accusing her of intimidation. Frankly, when I see these text messages, I mean, personally, to me, it doesn't rise to that level. Like, Jeannie, when you text me expletives, I just let it roll off my face.
I don't do that.
I'm just kidding.
I do not do that.
But when you have good friends, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you just let off. And she obviously felt that they were good enough friends that this wasn't going to get out in the public air. So
she feels
I don't know.
betrayed.
Yeah, she does.
And she's
understandable, honestly.
Our girl.
Somebody doesn't go in there with an axe, a hammer, a dog, and a whip. It's over. Pack it up. Go to Greece. Go to Spain. Go to Portugal.
She needs to turn that into a commercial.
She shoots from the hip.
You're very much welcome, Maria Pappas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she does. Okay, let's hear what Mike from Yorkville thinks about this.
Hey, Mike.
Good morning, ladies. Listening to that interview, they're just dumb rats. That's all they are. They've destroyed the city of Chicago. They've destroyed Illinois, and you're going to cry about some words being sent to you? Yeah. I mean, you've done some work, good work. Yeah, you're helping out Willie Brown. But at the end of the day,
Wilson,
you're morally bankrupt as a party. Your values have destroyed our country. And you're going to go ahead. I mean, I don't know. Were you guys looking to air some dirty laundry out for the Democrats up there? I don't know. But to me, I really don't care. I don't want them around. I don't want to see these people. I don't want to hear them. And I'm sure the rest of our audience is probably thinking, why in the world is this guy even on? I mean, don't get me wrong. It was interesting to listen to and just to hear him whine, because we know how thin-skinned these people are, and they play the victim. So they're professional victimhood status people. So therefore, that's the only way. So if I play to be a victim every time, and I hand out things and I give away taxpayer dollars, destroy this country, it doesn't matter. As long as the people that have their hand out, they're always going to be voting for these people because they're using our tax dollars as a way of bribery.
Hey, Mike, look, I actually in agreement with you. I actually don't think any of the Democrats deserve election or re-election in this state. They have so destroyed us economically. The Tyson Foods thing still sticks in my craw. You've got 2,500 people in a town of less than 100, all lost their job. They all lost their job. Now, those 100 people obviously live elsewhere, not just in Joslin, Illinois. They all lost their job, and it's not necessarily because beef, cattle production is down. It's because Tyson Foods found it much easier to put a second shift in Amarillo, Texas, or send more processing to Nebraska or Arkansas. I mean, let's face it, they left over about 4 years ago from Downers Grove in Chicago. They left their 500 employees there, were let go as they moved to Arkansas. And those employees probably, some of them moved with them.
Yep. And I
so
think
this is a scam. They are a scam.
That might happen in this case, too.
Yeah.
Some employees might move with them. Most of them, I heard, lived in the Quad Cities. And that's fine, and drove to Joslin. But 2,500 jobs. The mom and pop stores around that plant, they're going to go under. It's going to become a ghost town.
Yeah. Well, before we take some more calls, by the way, and you can line them up, 312-642-5600. Speaking of toxic Democrats, okay, this just broke yesterday. This is a long-form video, 43 minutes of Laura Jackson. She used to be the chief of staff for Amy Briel. Amy Briel is the state representative from the 76th district. That's out of the LaSalle County area. She's a full-time legislator. And
a mom of 3 boys, and she's married. So keep that in mind when you hear all of this.
So putting this all into context, Laura Jackson, her chief of staff, went and had this, she said it was a toxic relationship. We're going to play you a couple clips here out of the 43 minutes. Obviously, you need to hear the other side. But if there is another side, but I am putting this out there because it's already on YouTube. She's responded to interviews with Patrick Finkston. Cat Fax wrote about it. I was told about that. Sun Times has written about it. And so this is what Laura Jackson is saying about Amy Briel, who she worked for. Take a listen.
I was very excited about Representative Briel as a person. I thought that she was someone I could support. So I was very energetic when I first started. Mm-hmm. And then working for her quickly turned very toxic. There was a lot of drug use, alcohol use. There was a lot of verbal abuse that went on in there. And so that it quickly changed.
Okay, continuing on in another part in the interview, she explains more.
You mentioned drug abuse. Describe a little bit about what sort of drug abuse was going on in her office, in Representative Briel's office.
Inside of the actual office, after she was elected, we smoked a lot of marijuana. Mm-hmm. She would give bonuses in marijuana, up to 2 ounces that she would drive back from Michigan. That and a lot of drinking inside of the office. However, before that, during campaign, there was a lot of extreme Adderall use. I take accountability on my part of taking it, but there was also a supply of unlimited Adderall to keep us going through that campaign.
And were there interns involved? Was everyone adult?
So there was an intern from NIU who was not 21. I don't believe that she ever received any of the Adderall. However, she was drinking. She drank at the inauguration party, and then also a lot of cannabis use. I have witnessed Representative Briel working as a public official high on many occasions, including smoking a joint and then going into a meeting in her office with somebody from the community.
So that's Laura Jackson, who used to work for State Rep Amy Briel from LaSalle County. Mm-hmm. Amy Briel, mother of 3 boys, married to a man named Steve, and they live on a farm in Ottawa, Illinois.
So she did this interview with a group called Link Strategy. They are working for her opponent, Liz Bishop. Liz Bishop is the Republican running against Amy Briel for the 76th district. And apparently, according to news reports, Laura Jackson did raise this up to the legislative inspector general, and it was just dismissed. There were no charges. The Democrats are saying that it's a misleading political attack on Briel, and the Republicans are saying that no, there's really something here. Here's another part of that interview about sexual harassment.
Did you witness sexual harassment in the office? What was going on there?
So even in the campaign, I was talked about like I wasn't even a part of the campaign. I was referred to as her prize after. I was told several times in a joking manner that I would be her prize sexually after she won the campaign. But then it was just constant from there. Even after getting into office, every day I would hear comments about how I needed an older woman lover, just constant things like that, constantly talking about my appearance. It was probably every day that I talked to her, there was something about me that was sexualized, to the point that on the night of inauguration, I stood in front of her with tears in my eyes and said that I wish that she would see me as something more than just my looks and just physically.
How did she respond?
She just laughed. She didn't take it serious at all. I don't know if she didn't know that I was serious, but I don't think that she cared.
Okay, so Sun-Times reporting, the Legislative Inspector General, Michael McCuskey, said Jackson filed a complaint with his office in April 2025 and that he deemed it unfounded a month later. McCuskey declined to outline the allegations in the complaint, but said Jackson waived her right to confidentiality. He sent the results of his investigation to the Bipartisan Legislative Ethics Commission, which would have to vote to release the report publicly. A commission spokesman didn't immediately return a message seeking comment. This is from the Chicago Sun-Times again. Briel called for the immediate release of McCuskey's report and rejected the allegations from what she termed a malicious and false campaign video. And so they're just saying this is a MAGA Trump attack on Briel. I mean, Briel is the one famously who put in the bill to legislate backyard fires, or at least that's how it was deemed. But it's essentially, fires that are burned, in farmers' backyards and stuff like that. So she got a lot of heat for that one, honestly. But yeah.
Yeah, but also it sounds like she might be playing on both sides, if you know what I mean. Do they have some open marriage where this woman, Laura Jackson's, alleging that, she was objectified? I mean, these are disgusting Democrats, if this is true. I mean, these are allegations, but making her feel like she's the prize. If she wins, then I have to sacrifice my body for her or give her myself.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Sounds like sex trafficking.
There's apparently, obviously the executive director for the House Democrats political arm called it a clever political tactic by House Republicans, but nobody's really denying these allegations. That's the thing. Nobody is saying that this is not true, that she's not smoking pot and then going into constituent meetings, that she didn't hand out Adderall, that she didn't, apparently she is known to be sort of a pot smoker down there. That's what I'm told.
Well, it is legal, but you shouldn't be doing it on your job. Like drinking's legal, but you shouldn't be doing it on the job. Well, but objectifying women and then acting, as if, if I win, you're going to be my prize. Like they're sacrificing a lamb to this woman, Amy Briel. Because I'd be out screaming on top of a soapbox if people are claiming that kind of bad behavior against you. I mean, if somebody claimed that, you wouldn't take this sitting down.
And I think people are now calling into question the Legislative Inspector General, Michael McCuskey's independence, and that he wasn't necessarily the top pick for some people. And so that is being called into question along with this. But here's the deal. If this is the culture down there, this is another problem for Chris Welch, who has just famously started his accountability and culture working group in the wake of the Harry Benton scandal that he's involved in, because he hid it for 3 years. So, I have no doubt that they want to bury this, obviously, because this is a winnable district for Republicans too. This could be easily a flip district. It's one of those districts that is, you just can't so gerrymander to the point where you can assure a Democrat victory. So there's an opportunity here for folks to be able to flip that district to a Republican control, which honestly, just based off of Briel's voting record, which is atrocious, including the tax increases, the massive budgets, the NIDA bill that it raised your tolls and all that stuff. So just on the fact of all of that, you can easily say that she needs to go. So,
does her husband know about this?
Yeah, I don't know. And I'll check this because there wasn't a single House Democrat that voted against NIDA. Not a single one voted against it. Now, there were a couple that went not voting to save their skin. I'm going to check my record on her, but I will tell you, I know for a fact, because I just checked this yesterday, she did not vote against it because not a single Democrat did. Not a single one. So.
All right, when we come back, we will take your phone calls. Open Mic Friday, 312-642.
Hey, here's the deal. Briel went not voting because she's a coward. So she refused to vote on the massive tax increase, refused to vote no on it. She chickened out because she knew she was in a flip district. She's a coward, not taking a vote on that.
We'll be right back.
Make your voice heard. Call or text The Real Story at 312-642-5600.
It's peaceful here. Quiet. but it wasn't always. Here, the past isn't confined to textbooks or museums. It's in the soil, a pulse within the earth. Here, you can walk in step with history, where others once marched towards the unknown. The past is never really behind us. It's here, under our feet. The land never forgets the stride of the weary or the reach of the hopeful. The land remembers. And so does the American Battlefield Trust, dedicated to preserving America's hallowed battlegrounds. Now, on our nation's 250th birthday, become a member so the next acre becomes the next chapter. The next chapter becomes the next lesson. Join the trust. Protect the future. Go to battlefields.org.
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors, a third-generation family-owned business since 1969. We know you're bombarded by choices when shopping for new windows or doors, so we're inviting you to experience the Woodland difference. For decades, we have been transforming living spaces with Marvin Windows, a fifth-generation family business. Marvin replacement windows have been known to increase the warmth of your cold rooms by 10 degrees. Think about that, 10 degrees warmer. When you welcome Woodland into your home, you will get a product expert to transform your living spaces, full-time, dedicated professional installers that you can trust in your home, along with the best products like Marvin. These are the reasons we're proud of our 5-star reviews and family legacy. No gimmicks, no pressure, and upfront pricing are why Woodland Windows and Doors is your trusted window and door expert in Chicagoland. Visit woodlandwindows.com to book your free in-home expert consultation. That's woodlandwindows.com, or stop by our showroom at the corner of Lake and Geary in Roselle.
AM 560, The Answer.
So what is Springfield really like, by the way? It's
gross.
People all sleeping with each other. And
well, there's some of that going on. For sure there's some of that going on. But, I mean, I don't know. People just have they're over-impressed with themselves. They just have such a big feeling about themselves. They're not serious about policy. I mean, there are some. Obviously, there's some serious people about policy.
Right.
And sometimes you'll find them on the Democrat side, but mostly no. I mean, they've gone over to the far progressive side of things. It's all identity politics all the time on the Democrat side. The Republicans are serious about policy.
And then when they're done voting on either the House or Senate floor, do they just go out and sing karaoke, go to bars, bar hopping?
Do. Yeah, they do. Or they when I was down there was like this little Republican band, and the Democrats would show up too, and it was just I don't know. It's just like God, I just couldn't take it. Yeah, it's gross. Let's go to George in Naperville. George, welcome to the program.
Good morning, ladies. Could it be possible that Brandon's water bill got so high because he was trying to wash Nixon out of his hair?
Oh, that's right. He blamed Nixon.
What?
Oh, yeah. You never heard that? Peter,
well,
or Squirrel Hands, if you can find that soundbite, I'll give you $20. He blamed Richard Nixon for crime in the city of Chicago.
I remember that. Yeah.
Everybody was like, what? And then the young cub reporters were like, who? It's the former president. Of course, Republican. Oh, wait, we have it.
So, yeah, it is personal. Black death has been unfortunately accepted in this country for a very long time. We had a chance 60 years ago to get at the root causes, and people mocked President Johnson. And we ended up with Richard Nixon.
All right, now, Squirrel Hands, I got to give you $20.
Yeah, you do.
Let's see what I have in my wallet.
Up there, Amy. All right, all that volleyball money, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
You make it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. I have $10. You're
All
getting
right.
$10.
Okay.
I swear, I'll give it to you. $10.
Excellent.
That's I can do.
All right, Glenn in Orlando, welcome to the program.
Hi, ladies. Though, since there seems to be no form of integrity down in Springfield, do you think there's been any sexual harassment payouts that have been sealed? And are they doing any satanic rituals down there since they have no values?
Well, I don't think that there's been taxpayer handouts for sexual harassment payouts. I don't think that's happening like you have in Congress. But has there been people that have been protected even though they've done wrong? Yeah, Madigan famously tried to protect people. Kevin Quinn. Kevin Quinn was famously, he was a sexual harasser. Madigan teed up some payments from like Michael McLean and those folks in order to protect him. but there wasn't taxpayer money. It was probably it was political money, or it was filtered through a lobbying group. So yeah, that happened. Thanks for the call, Glenn.
Got some text messages real quick from 773. Brandon lived in Elgin but worked for CPS. Yeah, he worked for the union, and there's not a residency requirement.
But because he worked for the union, he didn't work.
He was a teacher for 4 years, too. Remember, he didn't give any homework, didn't give any tests, things that build character and make you learn about accountability, things like that. He just didn't bother to do. So I wonder if he was skirting it.
I wonder when he's going to announce, because the petition phase is, it's pretty long, but they need to file by the end of October. Like the third week of October, filing starts. The fourth week of October, you have to have your petitions formally filed. Mm-hmm. So he's got a little bit of time. It's certainly enough time.
You know what he's doing though?
What?
So Build Back Better signs are popping up all over every neighborhood. And then it says Mayor Johnson. So it's like a big, huge campaign sign without campaigning, but they're using our tax dollars to help him campaign. Richard Boykin, I hope you're listening.
Right. That's exactly what he was talking about. Absolutely. Yep. Okay. Bob in Buffalo Grove.
Well, hello, Bob.
Good morning. Good morning, Jeannie and Amy. Always great talking to you. On Monday, you were talking about schools, so let me offer the following. I recently received a copy of Chicago Magazine. There was a survey of the best-performing Chicago area schools, including separation between public Chicago schools and suburban schools by county. As you know, I'm interested in STEM education, so I took interest in this survey. One big takeaway from the survey was school attendance and how it related to the performance of the schools. And Chicago did poorly on school attendance. And then for you, Amy, you might be interested in this statistic. Amundsen came in number 9 in the city.
Really?
And your alma mater, Hersey, came in number 3 in Cook County.
Good.
Well, that is interesting, because it's not just the Chicago schools, or you think poor performing schools. Attendance is an issue at a number of other schools, including suburban schools. I believe I was reading, I think it's Indian Prairie School District 204, that's sort of Naperville, Oswego area.
Yeah.
I think they had a whole thing about how they're going to encourage additional attendance. Yeah. They're working on some revisions to how student absentees are logged and how the district communicates with families about their children's attendance going forward. So, this isn't just a city problem. It's a problem elsewhere.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who called in, calls we couldn't get to, we are back Monday morning at 11 a.m. Have a great weekend, Jeannie and everybody.
All right,
God bless.
you
And
too.
Scott Jennings is next.